I just thought I'd give you all a little bit of a start and a little bit of a look at the trains before we get going, just a little bit early. I'm Jenny Kirk, welcoming you here to this Monday Club live stream, the very last of 2025. We'll be going live proper in about 4 minutes. Until then, just enjoy the trains going round. Always nice to keep Zoe on her feet. Well, certainly on her toes. Yes, Zoe, I know I'm live. You don't need to send me a message. So, a big hello to you. It's great to see you, and I do hope that you are well. I'm Jenny Kirk, joining you on the final Monday of 2025. I do hope that Santa had a good rummage in his sack for you and brought you exactly what you wanted. So we've got a lot of people in. We are a few minutes early. So who have we got in the chat? We've got Mr. Powell, that's Mr. to you. Anthony Ham Shackleton, Flymo Chairman 1, Iron Horse Railways, Andy Fryers Junction, Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath, RG Models 86, Game Hammer Classic Gaming, that is the Cupboard Monkey, live from Durham, where she's spending some quality daddy-daughter time with her father. And yeah, I've rushed on back because I had to get a video done for this Friday. Due to being so overworked, the Cupboard Monkey wasn't able to do a video ready for Friday, so I've stepped in and I have done that. So I filmed a nice sort of laid back build project video continuing the Weir Yard build. That's all edited and uploaded, and that will go live on Friday. But we would not miss the Monday Club unless it was absolutely serious, because we like to always be here for the community. I do know that it is an amazing lifeline for so many people to have that human contact with the your online model railway club. So today, well, Hornby have been championing their 2026 range announcements. I think it's something like the 14th of January. So we'll have a little think later on just what could be in that. And I'm sure they'll bring out some doozies. They have certainly done that in previous years. Last year's big ticket for me was probably that J15 in the Great Eastern Railway purple. There is one somewhere behind me in the turntable area of the TMD. I couldn't resist buying that, and I do wonder what little gem might come on up. Maybe a J50 in Great Northern Railway grey, although I think, strictly speaking, the tooling doesn't lend itself to that, but who knows? Maybe they've got some slides in the mould, and they'll be bringing out the pre-grouping version of the J50. Not sure actually, that might actually be the J51. Anthnil suggests an 08 with a blue light in police livery from Hornby. Oh, leave me alone, Zoe. Yeah, she says, had to send you a message in case you didn't know you'd gone live and accidentally said something. What, you mean like I could have said, you know what, there's one person that I really need to say something about. And I think we all know who it is. So tonight, I'm going to spend the next 30 seconds talking at length in a huge expose about
Welcome to the Monday Club, your online model rail club for all the news, gossip, layout tours and more with your host, broadcaster and model maker, Jennifer Kirk.
And that, as I said to the judge, was definitely the worst thing that they did. Anyway, it's great to see you back. Maybe you missed the big rant I just did about a certain other person, but hey, who cares? So, so there we are. We've had the customary intro and welcome to the Monday Club. So who else have we got? We've got Zantec, Harry Sedgwick, Simon Trains on the Railway, Simon Pitcher, great to see you, hope you're well. Richard Swiderski, J.K. Hauser, Ham Shackleton, Harp House Holt, Aaronville, hello to you, hope you had a great Christmas as well and a Happy New Year. Well, that's coming in a couple of days now, so we're looking out for that. J.K. Hauser says, and then I said, who let that ostrich in? Well, we don't have Gandalf today, so Gandalf is up in Durham with the Cupboard Monkey. Couldn't resist the urge there to play with the scale electrics. So that's what's going on. Ben Davis, great to see you. JGG Werewolf, best online model railway club ever, Jenny and Zoe. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that like button and share the stream to social media. Let's let everybody know that everybody is welcome in your online model railway club that is the Monday Club. Scott Rails, great to see you too. Scamperton Model Railway. Who else have we got? DJK 666, Go For It Painting, Darren Faulkner 2018. Howell Lane, JP2QZ. I'm not sure whether that's been added by YouTube or that's part of your handle. Harry J. Sedgwick, Harp House Holt, Hunslet 37 Dave. So we've got a great turnout. Little Britain as well. And yeah, final Monday of the year. I'm flying solo, so do forgive me if I forget to press the right buttons at the right time and if things go a little bit awry. Alex the Train Boy says, I'm glad I'm here tonight, not at a model railway club. Well, this is your online model railway club. But for the avoidance of doubt, we won't be showing any videos later on because I am flying solo and there's a lot to do, and it normally takes two of us with Zoe, aka the Cupboard Monkey, doing all of the producer role. And it's been a long time since I've been my own producer. Not since my days on local radio when they didn't have the budget. It's not like on Frasier, where Frasier's got Roz to press all of the buttons. So just looking at the chat, wow, it is rolling in. Yes, the Sterling single is working tonight. I'm trying to get out some of the stuff that doesn't normally get usage. So let's try a different angle of the dangle. Trust me to find the angle where nothing's actually on camera. So J.K. Hauser says, love the jumper, Jenny. Thank you so much. This was a Christmas present from my parents. So only the second time out for this jumper. So, yes, I'm wearing something different tonight. I have a habit of putting on the same tops all the time. Creature of habit, creature of comfort. I find something I feel comfortable in and tend to wear it today. Ben Dave says, see Jennifer Hornby 2026 on the 14th. New pug in Workshop Grey. I don't think they've announced anything unless they've done a little sneak peek. Now, I do not know anything that Hornby are planning. I'll put that out there so we can kind of speculate really quite safely without any risk of me accidentally letting anything slip. Now, there's a part of me that likes to be in the loop. It makes me feel like I've been allowed on the other side of the velvet rope. It's one of the things that I find is I always feel like I'm just Jenny from the block and I'm a little bit of an outsider in the world. But on this instance, I actually do say to manufacturers, it's probably as well that you don't tell me what you've got planned, because there's nothing I can do with that information. I have to keep it secret, can't break the embargoes. And it's just easier all round if they keep things secret from me. So, what do you think might be coming in the Hornby 2026? Now, for me, I think that there's going to be a big ticket new tooled item. That tends to be how Hornby likes to roll. There'll be a wow factor. There'll be something that, well, people will go, wow, didn't see that coming. And, we've had a lot of the gaps in the ready-to-run market kind of plugged over this last year. In fact, Rapido Trains have announced a lot. We've had the D40 from them, which is one that I've been saying for quite a few years. Isn't it about time somebody did that? Well, Rapido stepped in. Some great livery options, including that Thistle, the What If kind of Bluebell Railway livery. I think that that's going to be probably the heavy seller. But also we've had the D34, the Glens, announced from Rails of Sheffield. I think that's a Sonic Models one. So that's another hole plugged in the ready-to-run prototype. So what actually is left? Iron Horse Railway says, Hornby are doing a new tooled Class 60. Well, I do wonder whether they're going to revitalise and bring out their Class 60, maybe some more livery options and such like. Cameron Patterson says, hi Jennifer, what about Hornby 00 Silver Jubilee? Well, actually, I do think that we might be seeing another run with the other rake of coaches of the Coronation coaches. They sold incredibly well the year before last. Sold out pretty much to pre-order, could not get them for love nor money. In fact, myself, the only item I could actually get from that release, such was the popularity, was I got one of the observation cards, and it really is superb, that Beavertail observation card. So I do think that another run of those should be in the works. But will they do the rebuilt observation car and maybe do alternatives from that tooling suite? That, I think, is probably well up there on the cards. We had the announcement of the Tavern cars, and those have just arrived in time for Christmas. DJK666 says, there's nothing left in diesel locomotives, but possibly DMUs might work. Well, actually, there's still a few things. Now, EFE Rail got the Class 74 out. That was probably a big gap plugged in the market. Now, a lot of people will say classes 81 to 84 have not been done. I think they might be a little bit niche. Maybe a Class 83, some of those did get into city livery. But that's kind of a long shot for me. I honestly think that they would probably be a harder sell. But when we look at other diesel classes, let's not forget that the Class 06 shunter is ripe to be done. And I think that that's very much in Hornby's ballpark. They had that railroad version for God knows how many years. On the god-awful pocket rocket chassis, didn't even have the proper jack shaft drive. I think a Class 06 shunter is definitely up there. I could see Hornby regarding it as being their model, perhaps. RG Models 86 suggests perhaps a new tooled 040 industrial tank. Well, they did the B4 for the starter set range. Maybe we'll see another revamp of that. Maybe choosing something else to do along those lines. Maybe Captain Baxter might be interesting. Harp Household says a new era 1 loco like Planet. Actually, yeah, Planet, Patentee, Jenny Lind. There's a few locomotives that might fit that kind of wheelhouse. Now, Locomotion #1 has done incredibly well. Actually, Hornby did release an email a few days ago with their top 5 sellers, and that Locomotion #1 featured on that. Vicky Lawless suggests a Great Eastern Railway E4 240 maybe. They've already got the tender from the J15. That is actually a really good shout. Now, both the E4, the E5 as well, there is one preserved in the National Collection, never been done, ready to run. So I think that, we've seen the D34 Glen, as I said before, and the D40 both announced, ready to run. So an E4, E5, maybe even the E6, the Fletcher 901, is it? The one that was at Kirby Stephen East for a while. A very unusual locomotive, withdrawn very early on in the LNER period. It kind of, there's a big question mark whether it got the E6 designation or not. I like to say it did. It makes it easier in my OCD fond mind. A new D11 Great Central. Now, I don't think we'll get another D11. Now, there is a really great model from Bachmann of the D11, but maybe a D10 could be one that's on the cards. A J6, let's not ignore J6, J17, J21 has got to be high up there. There's a preserved example. It's currently undergoing overhaul, has been out and about, been seen at Locomotion on and off. That is actively in restoration. So I think that as well would go well with the Northeastern Railway snowplow that Rails of Sheffield announced. And I think that is likely to be one which we'll see from somebody. Maybe that could be a Hornby announcement. J17 does seem to be an open goal. J21, and just racking my brains actually through some of those other J classes. I do think the Great Northern Railway J6 is a really obvious one that needs doing, although I understand that the original works drawings are missing. DJK 666, I'd love to see a Billington C2X 060. Yeah, actually, I think that would be great. Leslie Gilpin says you can validly run a Great Eastern Railway 240 in LNER livery to Kirby Stephen and Penrith. A new 58 suggests Castle Hill Light Railway. Now, that brings up an interesting point. The Railroad Plus range has expanded. We saw the Police Class 37 has actually sold out incredibly well. I was talking with Catherine Dunnings at Hornby just a couple of weeks ago, and she said that actually that has been an incredible seller, very, very popular, and that bodes well for the Railroad Plus range. So I think the Class 58 is definitely one that we might see warmed over, added to the Railroad Plus range with a TXS HM7000 profile. I think that would be a very, very good one to have a think about. But also in terms of Railroad Plus, I think the Class 42, the Warship, that would be a great addition to that budget range. Now, we have seen some Railroad releases, and I have been pushing, actually talking with Carl Hart, about the one improvement that I think that would really make that model pop is plastic inserts into the wheels to give them the correct profile. Now, that could be done quite easily as an interference push fit piece to just push in place. Really easy upgrade, and I think that would make that very much a great contender. Plus a TXS HM7000 decoder option on that. I think that would sell really well. We've seen the TXS sound profile range expand greatly. Quite a few new profiles turned up. So we're not going to see any of these ones for models which aren't in the range, I think, until they appear. The Class 71 has been pushed back. Like, Hornby, I was really looking forward to that. Big hello, David Ross at 74. Yaharic as well. Summer Breeze Muller Railways. Says, sad news about Trevor. His cremation is on Wednesday morning. Oh, what have I missed? I'm just scrolling back. I can't see who's passed away. So sorry to hear. RG Models 86. I can't get anything out of Guion either, but I think where's the comment now? Somebody said about, I think it's gone off the top, about maybe Oxford Rail consider another J class. Again, I think the J21 is one that comes to mind over and over again. Hello, 3B Rail. Great to see you. Hope you're well. DJ K666 says, maybe not Hornby, but I'd like to see someone do a Class 141 pace. So the really weird ones with one set of doors in the middle of each coach. I'd leave Lev 1 to KR models. Glasgow and Southwestern 464. Is that... No, it's not. Adriatic is 264. 464, is that a Baltic tank? Certainly would be very interesting. Hello to you, B Motter. There's no Gandalf, so you can arrive late with impunity. Growler Blackwood Engage layout. Great to see you as well. So just scanning down the chat. But yeah, Oxford Rail do a J class. I think so. It'd be interesting to see just what is announced by Hornby. I think if they announce a J21, then we're not going to see that from Oxford Rail. But Oxford Rail have done both the J26 and the J27, so they may look to another region of the UK for their next locomotive. Harp House Holt says, Jenny, you've removed your kink. Yes, and that's coming on the video on Friday, so stay tuned for that. Sad to hear about Trevor Veal, says Flymo Chairman 1. So sorry to hear. Really sad, always sad to hear when one of our number passes away. Gamehammer Classic Gaming says, if they did them in Play Trains range, I'd expect a few people would customise them to run on a 00 gauge railway. Actually, Play Trains will run on regular 00 track. Right. Yeah, the HST to pull over. Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath. Oh, have you got the HST? It is out there. Ben Davis has never got all 00 scale, Jennifer. One London and South Western Railway Drummond T14 and P Green. The Great Eastern Railway Grey J15. That is a possibility. The J15 and the purple did sell very well. A G16 or a H16. Oh, is that the 4? Was that the 480? Hump shunter. The Z class. Now the Southern Railway Z class, yes. Every year that is kind of on the. Everybody's like, please, 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 we need the Z class. So maybe Hornby will announce that. Amber Occupy Railway says, evening Jenny, I'd like to see Hornby bring a new tool to Great Northern Railway N2 tank. Yes, definitely. The current tooling dates actually back to the days of mainline from Palitoy. And it is well overdue an upgrade. It's passed through Daypole and then on into Hornby. It's long overdue for being passed over to the Railroad range. You know, maybe even it's worth the Railroad Plus range. But certainly an all-new tooled N2 would be a great addition. I think that would be very much welcomed. And they could do one for the Hornby 00 range in the identity of certainly 69567 with a BR early crest, or 69550 with the late crest. Both of those were done by Hornby 00. And you could also do it as 95. Is it 9567, which in LNER Green, they did a black one as well, really hard to find. But maybe What If liveries, the N2 in Great Western Railway as 6699, or in either malachite or olive green for the southern versions. You know, that would be interesting actually to do those in the Hornby 00 range. Harrick says, hope someone does a Southern River class tank. Yeah, there's Gamehammer Classic Gaming says Trevor Veal, member of the Monday Club, RIP, absolutely. So Trevor Veal, he appears on different live streams like Donegal Dad Rail and RGJ Trains, and had an excellent collection of A4s as well. So sorry to hear. We'll need to add him to our Hall of Heroes, because as they always say, that nobody is truly gone until their name is spoken no more, and we do like to honour the fallen from the model railway community, whether they were Patreons or not. We have our gold list, so we will look to do that. Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath asks for a new baby Deltic Class 23 or a Class 35 High-Mech. Well, the Class 23 was done by Hellion, and not a bad model, really. Scamperton Model Railway says, Jenny, you need to calm down Iron Horse Railways. He had a big rant at Backman. Yeah, I saw that. I haven't watched the video in full. I just saw the bit. Yes, I think he's playing a little bit for the Al Gore rhythms. So, but yeah, I don't think anybody can tame the Iron Horse. J. Paul Anderson suggests a Furnace Baltic tank. Cameron Patterson asks, can we have an A4 night on the Monday Club? Yeah, we'll have to see about that. Right. Ben Davis has never got all OO scale Jennifer Wagon, the Conflat PD 160, 6-wheel Highland Railway brake van with higher roof. Yeah, brake vans. Now, we've got quite a few coming through the pre-grouping designs, including the London and North Western Railway ones and the Great Central ones. Are we doing the Great Northern ones as well from Rapido Trains? Brake vans, certainly pre-grouping ones, do seem to be very much in their wheelhouse. Could we see the Dancehall brake coming from Hornby? They did have Ye Olde version. What else? What else? Conflat P in 00 gauge. That was the one. I think Rapido did that in N gauge. Might be nice to see that turn up in 00. What else? I think going back to the N2, that has definitely got to be up there. I would not be surprised if Hornby announced a new tooled N2. Certainly of all the N classes, we've had that really great N7 from Oxford Rail. I'd like to see that re-released. Could we get that in the Great Eastern Railway purple, maybe? There's lots of the J classes still to be done. In terms of Hornby, maybe a J83, the Holmes tank. Now that was again another ye olde release from them that they had on the old Railroad 060 Ginty chassis. That has been long overdue for a retool. I could see that being in Hornby's wheelhouse. Could we see that being announced for an all-new makeover? I think of the 060 tank engines from the J classes, then that's definitely got to be probably the low-hanging the low-hanging fruit. I'm racking my brains actually through all the J classes. I think all the other obvious ones have been done. I think we're going to see whether the TT120 range expands. We've had the Terrier coming along, maybe get another run of those, although I think the TT120 examples are such that their announcement is separate. Tim Shaw suggests a Great Central Railway C4 Atlantic. an interesting choice, actually. I think we're more likely to get the C2 Atlantic before we get the C4. C2 Atlantic now, there is a preserved example, so that could be up on the cards. Oh, mention of TT120, and Peachy TT120 saunters in. It's like, hello, I shall come up above my parapet because TT120 has been mentioned. Did someone mention TT? Now, maybe you can confirm or deny. The TT120 announcements, they are coming in a separate announcement day, are they not? Now, the beverage of choice is just weak juice. Juice being a northern thing, it's what we call cordial. Jersey Lily, very pretty, says J. Paul Anderson. Evening to you, Ian White. There is no Gandalf. We've got an end-of-year amnesty on late arrivals, so make the most of it, people. Hello to Let's Make Tracks. Great to see you. I hope you're well. Somebody asked, I can't see the comment, actually, whether I'm going to review the Northeastern Railway hoppers. I must look into that, actually. Those and the pannier tanks recently came out from a Cura scale. The pannier tanks have done really well, actually. They're like out the door. Yeah, TT is April. Peachy TT 120 confirms. Perfect. Anthony confirms as well. The pug, I don't think we're going to see another pug. I'd be very surprised to see another Lancashire and Yorkshire pug announced. I think the case, once Clark Railworks gets on with the project, unless the alternative is very, very far advanced and so far advanced that they can't bail, I don't think that people would proceed against Clark Railworks. The Lomac was such that both parties were pretty much at production stage when they found out about the other. That's why we saw the Lomac from both Rapido trains and from Clark Railworks. But with the pug, I think that if Hornby were going to be doing a pug, then unless it can be like, da-da, here you are in the shops, I don't think we're going to see that. J39 due an upgrade. I forgot about that. Yes, Alan Pollock, absolutely right. The J39 horrible split chassis done in 00 a long time ago now from Bachmann, that has been out of production for a very long time, and split chassis never really that great. We need to see a new tooled version of the J39. I wonder whether the tooling suite could be done to actually do both the J38 and J39. It'd be interesting to see. Another one, actually, the D49, again, preserved example, previously been in the Hornby range, now in the Hornby Railroad range. I'd like to see a really high fidelity new tooled version of that. Tim Shaw says anything London and North Western Railway. I really like the is it the G2 tanks? They're like an 082 tank locomotive. They are very much a unit all by themselves. A few of those lasted just long enough to get into BR ownership. I think there was either 10 or 8 passed into BR ownership, and only, I think, 3 or 4 of them lasted long enough to get renumbered. But I think that they would just be a quirky little thing. In terms of other options, I'd love to see a Q4. The Great Central Railway Q4, I think, would be a really interesting one. Nicknamed the Tinnies. They've got a little bit of a look of the Robinson 8K about them. Yes, Tim Shaw, absolutely. I've been banging on for this year after year. The DX class, the London and North Western Railway DX class, made 950 of them. I think it is still to this day the most numerous mass-produced steam locomotive design. Nobody's made more of a single type of locomotive than they did. Ran with the London and North Western Railway. Controversially, they built some for the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway. Now, I believe that the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway bought some out of service from the London and North Western Railway, but also bought some brand new. And this resulted in a court action by locomotive builders in the UK, which was actually granted to stop to stop railway companies building locomotives for their competitors. Now, they passed into LMS ownership, but whilst the DX tank conversions, I think a couple of them lasted long enough in departmental use to enter BR days, none of the DX goods actually lasted long enough to be in BR colours. But hey, a what if BR livery, even just with British Railways spelt out in full on the tender, I would certainly be interested in that. But some of them were actually then sold on to, there was a company in Belgium, a railway company, that bought a number of them. They lasted into the 50s. And maybe that could be done as a special. I don't know how much demand there would be for that, being that they would be in 00, not HO. But there was actually a chassis of a DX goods was used on one of the inclines on the Cromford and High Peak as one of the winding engines. And I've never yet found a photograph of what exactly was left of that DX goods to constitute that winding engine. That lasted through until the early 1960s. And in a way, it's a great shame that that wasn't preserved to form the basis of a new build DX goods. Leslie Gilpin Railway says the Belgian ones were ROD leftovers after 1990. Yes, actually, you could have Rail Operations Division versions as well. But JTG Werewolf says would like Bachmann to do the A4 again without the split chassis if they haven't already done so. They have done so, limited run. As far as I can tell, they only did certain ones. So certainly in BR liveries, Wild Swan, William Whitelaw, Sir Nigel Gresley, and they probably did Mallard, but I'm not 100% sure on that. They can put it out. It's got a proper chassis. It's DCC ready. Actually, it runs quite well. I quite like it. I certainly pick them up second hand when I find ones that I don't already have. Paul Harrison says, "Evening all. I'm late, Gandalf." There's a end of year amnesty because unfortunately, or fortunately, Gandalf is actually up in Durham with the Cupboard Monkey. Cupboard Monkey's having daddy-daughter time with the Sky Electrics. I'm back here because I wouldn't want to let you guys down by missing a Monday Club unless I'm pretty much in bed, unable to move with illness. So that's why I'm here. We were going to pre-record this, but we didn't get a chance, didn't get the time. So I thought, you know what, I've got to come back to film and edit. So the Friday video is filmed and edited by me. Yes, Game Hammer Classic Gaming. Gandalf did eat all the biscuits. I forgot to get biscuits. I went out earlier on today to get some supplies and I didn't get any biscuits. So I'm devoid of biscuits. So yeah, sorry Paul Harrison. You'll have to come back and be late next Monday. Dave Rowledge asks for a rerun of the Kerno GWR rail motor. Again, not going to be in the Hornby announcements, but I totally agree with you. I'm looking up there. I've got one up there. Really is a fine model. DJ K666 says the end of year amnesty could become a good tradition. Absolutely. Just scanning back through the comments. Vicky Lawless, hello to you. Andy Fryers Junction says, shall I get biscuits for tomorrow? Yes, you should. Xantec says, no cookies. Oh, the world has ended. Absolutely. But we're having our end of year hangout, just me and thee, up here in the loft at Weir Yard, which has come on really, really great actually. And it's been an honour to share with you the rebuild of Weir Yard. It's coming near to an end actually. There's only one area left. And I'm looking over there because that's where it is. I'm going to actually do a build video on that, and then there'll be a roundup video. So just 2 more videos that I can think of to film on the Weir Yard rebuild. There's also it's at least one. I think one, or is there 2? I've lost count. There's either one or two build videos that are filmed and in the buffer. Andy Fryer's Junction says, "Okay, ma'am, I shall." Oh, thank you, Daddy. Ray Central says, "I claimed lateness and got away with it. Victory!" That's right, everybody. Victory. V for victory. Let's Make Tracks TT120 says, "What happened to the Gandalf voice box? A battery ran out, unfortunately." Ham Shackleton as Gandalf is away on holiday. He is, yes. Time off for good behaviour. He went up to Durham, actually. He thought that the Cupboard Monkeys are softer touch for getting bickies out of. Simon Trains Model Railway says, "I can confirm model shows I'll be attending for 2026. Hotels are booked. FebEx in Alton, Doncaster Show, and Model Rail Scotland." Boom! Of those, I think Doncaster is the one that I am definitely doing. Robert Cesare 9040 says, "Jen, did you start on your Santa Fe engine yet?" No, I've been so busy. What with the Christmas and New Year period, I haven't yet done anything with it, but it is here waiting for New Year project. So thank you so much for that again. Right, Richard Swiderski says, "Jenny, I'm going to start ballasting my track. Do I take up the track pins and have them out once ballasted?" Well, here's the thing. Once the ballast is in and glued, you don't, strictly speaking, need the track pins. So you can take them out. Just be aware that you'll have little tiny holes in your sleepers. But you don't, strictly speaking, need them. And I have to say, I have sometimes, when I've been low on track pins, I've pinched them from the ready ballasted section. Yes, Richard Grutas. Durham is where they wrote Pink Panther song. Durham, 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 Durham. It's somewhere up north. Right. Now, I don't think there's any chance that Hornby's going to break into the 009 market. But could we see the return of the Arnold brand with N-Gauge? I'm not really sure. Leslie Gilpin Rail to Kendal, then Model Rail Scotland for me. Scamperton Model Railway asks, "What did you get for Christmas?" Me? Well, I got this jumper. My parents very kindly gave me a jumper. And a Toblerone, a white chocolate Toblerone. Toblerone? Toblerone. The Growler Blackwood N-Gauge says, "I remove the track pins after ballasting." Yeah, a lot of people do. You can do that if you want to do it. It's probably less intrusive than the little holes left in the sleepers. DJ K666 says, "I have no biscuits, but I do have sweeties, although I managed to accidentally open the packet at both ends." I don't think you get twice as much if you do that. Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath says, "Oh, Arnold back doing N-Gauge. Wow." Yeah, no, I don't know. This is just me spitballing here. I have no idea what's really happening. I'd like to see maybe a re-release of their 08. Their 08 really is good, although very expensive. So maybe they could look into how they could make it cheaper to build. I think the opening cab doors might be one to get rid of, because I think any way that they can bring the price down on their 08, I think it would be most welcome in the market. Hello, Krista Duke. Great to see you. Hope you're well. No Gandalf here tonight, as I keep telling people. It's Gandalf's night off for this final festive Monday club of the year. So huge amnesty here. But going back to ideas of what we might see, I think high probabilities for a new tooled steam locomotive. Not going to see all of these. Not likely at all. I think the N2 and the D49 are both models that Hornby might regard as being, theirs. They've been in their range for a very long time, albeit now of railroad standards. And I think that if they were going to revisit older tooled models and bring them up to standard with new tooling, the D49 is a definite must. The N2 as well. I think the N2 has a lot of scope. a Hornby 00 version in the guises of the Hornby 00 liveries. Now they've got two of the, technically three, but it would be 69567 with late crest and early crest. I'm not sure that that would be a sensible move, but certainly they do 69550 as well. Both of those in the Hornby 00 version. There's also the LNER guys. They did an LNER apple green one as 9567, and I think the black one they did as well might be the same number. I can't remember off the top of my head. But then, you know, as a little bit of an oddball one, they could do a release of maybe the LMS one and the Southern one, the Great Western one. Now that, interestingly enough, had a proper Great Western bonnet, safety valve bonnet. So that might be taking it a little bit too far. But definitely, there's a lot of scope for an N2, and I'd like to see Hornby do that. I think that would go down very, very well. Jurassic Diver UK says, any plans on continuing your scenery building videos? Well, we've put out loads on the Weiryard rebuild. I've actually lost count. There's still one, maybe two in the buffer that are filmed to go out, plus one final video for me to actually do a little project upgrading retaining walls on the incline that goes down to the fiddle yard underneath. I'm waiting for parts for that, the Scaledale walling for that. And then there'll be a sort of an overview of everything once that's gone out, and I will film that. This Friday, there's a little bit of a project video on removing the kink from the track. I filmed that, edited it, it's ready to go out. But other locomotives, now you see, you'll hear me talk a lot about LNER constituents. That's kind of my favourite area. Now Hornby do a lot in areas such as Southern LNER, and you know, we've just had the Saint come out, so they don't neglect GWR. LMS might be the next one up, and in terms of LMS, there's a few tank locomotives that they could do. Now, I'm not really au fait with the terminology, but there's the one which Pug was based on in the Thomas the Tank Engine books. I can't remember what class it actually was. Gavin Blackburn says, bring the kink back. No, the kink, if I, is this the right angle of the dangle? Kind of. You can't really see it quite so well there, so let's move over to this camera. Let's wake up the camera. There we go, so you can see the kink is gone. All hail the kink. You've served us well over the years. Will Gandalf be swapping biscuits for stotty cakes? I think it would be adding stotty cakes to the biscuits. There will never be a swap of biscuits where Gandalf is concerned. Simon Trains Muller says the kink's gone. That isn't kinky. Peachy TT120 says, is it about time we had a Jenny built TT show layout? Possibly. That's more in Cupboard Monkey's wheelhouse, so that is something that's on her cards. But no, going back to the scenery videos, Weiryard, I'm now pretty happy. Actually, did we put out the TMD video? I just realised I don't think we've put out the TMD video, so actually that would mean that there's 3 videos in the buffer. Stefan Svensson, yes, thank you. We did have a low-key but certainly pleasant family Christmas. Thank you for asking. I hope you had a great Christmas as well. Yeah, the TMD video, I don't think we've put that out yet. RG Models 86 says, Weiryard's permanent way gang have done a good job on the kink. Yes, now the ballast is still slightly moist. What a dirty word. Write that down, darling. We must use that more often. But that ballast will lighten up as it fully dries. It's certainly got lighter as the day's gone on, but it's not fully dry yet. Right, yes, Game Hammer Classic Gaming. Right, okay, so that means that we've got 1, 2, possibly three. Three build videos. Fourth one still to film. The fifth one actually leapfrogs everything, goes out Friday. And then I'm going to do an overview of the entire thing. But then my project for next year, I want to do a Javanese sugarcane railway build. I want to really challenge myself with very, very different scenery styles and techniques, different plant life. I want to be able to work out how to do banana trees. And that's what I've been wanting to kind of do. I've been looking avidly at a lot of videos for research. I've got some materials in ready as well. But Zantec, yes, I am going to weather the ballast. I mean, you know, on the real railway, you'll see patches where ballast has been redone. But yes, all of the ballast will get weathering to blend and feather it all in. Raymond Legs 5508 says somebody bought Temu Flex Track and tried to make radius 1 curves and the rails snapped. Yeah, I wouldn't get anything from Temu myself. Not a fan. Excuse me, I've got a bit of dry mouth. Beverage of choice, just a reminder, we've got weak cordial. So plenty of Council Pop, aka tap water, and some cordial. This time in Trent's Mother Railway. Moist! Oh, hello JL Railways. I've not seen your comment, but I've seen somebody replying to you. Roger Windsor says, Loco, I would like the pre-grouping A-Class 440. Yeah, Gamehammer Classic Gaming. Temu has a bad reputation for a reason. Donegal Dad Rail, hello to you. Hi Jenny, Zoe and everyone, great to see you, hope you're well. Now, it's Amnesty night tonight, final Monday Club of the year. Gandalf's not here, Cupboard Monkey's not here. But Flymo Chairman 1 says, a friend of mine is a great fan of Cuba and has photos of the sugar trains out there. Haven't been in touch to see about getting a few pics from her. DJ K666, which parts did you use for the scissors crossover? Now, actually, that was a how-to build video using Pico components. I trimmed down and soldered together my own using 4 Pico Code 100 points and a Pico short crossing. And that's a really old video now, and that's probably at least 10 years or more old that I did that. It's one of my most watched videos, strangely enough. But I kind of built it myself using Pico products as the starting point. Stefan Svensson says, my Christmas was not great since I've fallen down some stairs and hurt my back. So sorry to hear that. I hope you're getting well. SHGP Media says, I gave serious consideration to calling my layout moist. Went with bleak instead. In Welsh, though, Llwyn. David Scott's 6468 says, went on the sugarcane railway in St Kitts. Just avoid the rum punch when laying track, especially at 9 AM. Tim Shaw suggests a Dealey dock tank. Yeah. There's a lot of little dock tanks that Hornby could do. You could argue that their Ginty could be an outside choice. Been in the railroad range for an awfully long time. Not been in the range for a while. If they were going to do an LMS locomotive, would they want to go head-to-head with the Bachmann model? It is an older model, but it still is pretty good. So, yeah, possibly outside chance of a Ginty. In terms of their big hitter LMS locomotives, the Princess Coronation and the Princess Royals, they're pretty good. I don't think that they would be retooled. We might see another run with different livery options. So I think that they're definitely an option. David Scott suggests, how about a GWR 9700 condensing tank? Gamehammer Classic Gaming, is it a Ginty or a Jocko? Both, depending on where you are in the country. It's like Gronks. The other nickname for Gronks is Jocko. Oh, hello. James Pets is in the house. Great to see you. The Growler Blackwood Engage says these blinking adverts in the chat are prolific tonight. Mostly insurance being sold. Not seeing any of those. That may be on your version of YouTube. Right? It's not coming through the stream. I see. I always like to push for a crane tank. The J92. It's always an outside choice. But I honestly think that the J92, we're most likely to see that coming from Sonic models or Rapido trains. That would be my guess. Could be completely wrong on that. Or maybe even Clark Railworks. I don't think a J92 would be on Hornby's cards. A J83, definitely a J83. I'm going to put that out there. From the LNER classes, I'd like to see Silver Fox, the A4 Silver Fox, not in the silver livery, but in BR green, or I don't think it got BR blue. Certainly didn't get BR experimental purple. But another livery of A4 that we've not had in the new tooling is Garter blue, but with the BR number and British Railways spelt out on the tender. Now, I think Sir Ralph Wedgwood was done in that livery, but from the old tooling a long time ago. And I think that that is a livery option that is sorely missing from the range. So if they do announce another run of A4s, I would like to float that out there, that that is a livery option that needs to be done. I'd like to see Silver Fox in BR Green. Maybe a little bit selfish of me, but that's one that I need. It's not been offered in BR Green from new tooling ever, although I believe it has been offered in the silver livery. In terms of other locomotives, yeah, I'm sure that they could do an apple green, LNER apple green A4 would be welcome. Not seen one of those in quite some time. PN Train suggests I'd like the Thompsons rebuilt Great Northern. Actually, what about a Q1 tank? Something really out there. Now, they utilise some parts commonality with the J50. They were rebuilt from... were they rebuilt from the Q4s? Although I think they were an accountancy rebuild. But yeah, Q1 might be an interesting oddball choice. Hornby do sometimes like to do these little oddball things. You know, maybe one of the hump shunters is the H16 or the G16. That might be on their cards. The Z-Class has got to be on somebody's cards. PN Train suggests we'd also like the LNER P1. Isn't there a new one being built, a new build P1? Now, I know that Rapido have publicly ruled out the Y6. I think it's the Y6 was the 040 version of the kind of the Toby the Tram style locomotive. But here, floating it out there, a Y6 from Hornby might be an interesting choice. In terms of other locomotives, I think, was it the Y4, the Hill Y4, was quite I thought it was only a class of 5 locomotives, and actually 4 the same, 5th one slightly different. They were quite long-lived, lasting all the way through into BR days, although they didn't really roam that far. TRS Trains 9330, new build P2. Right, and TRS Trains says a P1 is a 280 A3 base. No, surely it would be a 282, because the 280 wheel arrangement is classed as an O. P is a 282. Yeah, JTG Werewolf, that's what I mean. The Silver Fox and BR Green, older tender drive model. Forget about that. We need a new tooled version. Right. That's an interesting choice. Kingfisher 1487. I'd like to see Hornby redo the two shunters that they did when they took over Triang, the dock shunter and the overhead shunter. I think the dock shunter, was that based on a John Fowler locomotive or a North British one? They're definitely options. And that might play into a little bit of the old nostalgia with some nostalgia packaging. But I think, we keep circling back to the N2. I think an N2 has got to be there. Hornby, if you've not already planned an N2, get it done. Come on, otherwise somebody else will beat you to it. So an N2, definitely up there. Outside choice of an E4. I think an E4 is definitely an open goal. That is a low-hanging fruit. Simon Pitcher suggests a Hornby Q1 updated might be nice, as it's over 20 years old. It's still a really good model, actually. It still holds its own. I would argue that resources are better placed on doing something like an all-new tooled N2, because the Q1 still does hold its own. You could still get a few more releases out of the tooling. Oh, that's an interesting point. Simon Trains Model Railway N2 needs to be done as it's Gresley's 150th birthday in 2026, and I could see that being a joint development with the TT120 version. I think that is definitely one which would give scope between the two scales. Vicky Lawler suggests, how about a Munsell Q class? Definitely, actually, yes. James Pett, I don't think we're wish listing so much as trying to guess what Hornby might produce. Hello to you, Roger Windsor. Peachy TT120 says the dock shunter was a Fowler F2. So, yeah, I'd also like to see maybe a re-release of the Sentinel diesel shunters, but reworked to allow them to take HM7000. I think going forward, I'm not sure whether we'll see them this year, but who knows? We've seen the smaller format non-sound HM7000 decoders. I'd like to see the next 18 in particular come through with a version 2 with a smaller footprint. And ways they could do this, maybe having the Bluetooth antenna on a daughter board connected via a fly lead to a socket would reduce the overall size and open up a lot of fitting possibilities. Now, my experimentation has shown that the next 18 version of the HM7000 decoder, what tends to stop that from being a fit in most locomotives is the antenna part. So, for Andy Fry's Junction says Simon Pitcher sent you a message on Messenger. So what's going on? I don't have the means to let. Can we get some Gandalfs? Gandalf is apparently literally phoning in his contributions. So what have we got? I can't really find honestly, is there something on email? I haven't got any messages from Simon Pitcher. I'm really sorry. A new Brighton Bell 5-car set, suggests Peter Jackson to lead. I don't think that, I really honestly don't think that we're going to see a lot more multiple units just for the price point. Oh, sorry, Andy Fry's Junction message Simon, not... Oh, great. Right. Andy Fry's Junction says, I'd like to see the stuff we ordered in 2023 and 2024 finally be released, such as the metal-bodied Deltic. It's almost here, as far as I can tell. Yes, Game Hammer Classic Gaming. Okay, thank you. Our Ballad One says, given that it's Hornby, could be a retooled super detail Coca-Cola Lomac. They haven't got the Coca-Cola license, I don't believe. So, yeah. PN Train says, one thing I really want from Hornby, it's no more 8-pin decoders, full embrace of next 18 and 21-pin. They're pretty much doing that. I think the only things which are still getting 8-pin is the Railroad Plus items, but we're seeing 21-pin interfaces appear across all of the range. Peachy TT120 says, got to leave in a bit, Jenny, sorry, I need to crack on with Batty Moss, and I need silence to concentrate. I am an artiste. I need silence. Okay, but don't forget to like and share the video before you go. And, you know, that goes to everybody. Like and share, people. Right, six-wheel milk tanker's not been out in a while. Maybe some new liveries from that. It's not a bad tooling, I have to say. Andy Fry's Junction says Railroad is now moving to 21-pin. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. We've got to see the next 18 HM7000 decoders trimmed down in size. Yeah, PN Trains, that is older tooling. J15, 8-pin, the Great Eastern Blue one, mine too. Not everything has been upgraded, but they are getting there. I'd like to see the Castle get re-released, maybe do a Hornby 00 version of that. That would be amazing to see them do Denbigh Castle, Ludlow Castle, Cardiff Castle and Bristol Castle in the Hornby 00 Castle range. Zantex says, the Mazak affected rat, what is the status of that? Did you get a replacement from Bachmann? No, I didn't get a replacement. The casting is slowly disintegrating over here. I haven't thrown it away, but I don't know, it's hard to tell whether it's getting worse or whether it just reached a point where it was noticed. But apparently they don't have any stocks of these. Some kind of investigation is going on into why that's happened, and because obviously there'll be more in the batch. If you have, I forget its catalogue number, but if you have the Bachmann Rail Blue Class 25 with the running number 25286, get the body off and check it now. I'd like to think that they would at least do a batch of replacement chassis blocks to go onto their spare site for those who might be affected. Now, that won't have been the only 25 released in that batch. There will have been a BR green or a BR two-tone green version as well, and that then becomes suspect as well. I need to go through actually all my models. Simon A.C. Martin sent me a rather upsetting message that he'd discovered that his Thomas the Tank Engine range of models dating between, I think he said 2006 and actually 2016. The Mazak rot issue is going later than everybody thought. Check your models before it's too late. But he's found that the chassis on almost all of his Thomas the Tank Engine models are showing Mazak rot. Phil Crompton, Steam Generator 9F. Yeah, I think that could be an option as well. I think we're going to see more Steam Generator locomotives released. Just looking back through the comments. An updated Beatles set depicting the Abbey Road period, says our Ballad one. And Yaharic says, what's the new chip Rapido are using? E24. It's not an NMRA standard. The NMRA declined to approve it as an NMRA standard. I fitted a regular Train-O-Matic decoder in mine. It won't access the Stay Alive, unfortunately. But it fitted in the space. So yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't buy this. Well, it's a space issue. The footprint of the Next 18 fits in there. They said it sits too high, but I not by that much. I don't think it was insurmountable. I don't agree with the new decoder format. We're seeing more of it appearing. in things like the fireless locos from Rapido. I really wish this wouldn't happen. My view is that if if you can't get Next 18 in there, change the internal design to make a Next 18 fit. Let's Make Tracks TT120 says, did I see a mention? Somebody might have mentioned you in the chat. It wasn't me. Yeah, RG Models 86. Mazet rot, you'd think, would be a thing of the past now. Hornby 00 figured out what caused Mazet rot in the 1940s. When what happened was, in 1939, I think towards the end of 1939, they were prohibited from selling toys, and they still had stocks of, in particular, Dinky toys, but some Hornby 00 in the warehouse. They weren't allowed to sell it, so it just sat to one side, and it rode the war out. And when they came to release it on sale, what they discovered was a lot of these items had just crumbled into dust. And when they looked into the meteorology of it, when they looked into the science of the metal, I can't wrap my tongue around the metallurgy of the thing. What they found was that it's impurities, lead impurities causes it, and they fixed it. So you just don't see later sort of 1950s and 60s Dinky Toys and Hornby 00 have that issue. They just don't get it. Unfortunately, when production's gone out to China, they're relearning all the same mistakes. Yeah, metallurgy. Thank you, Flymer Channel 1. Paul Harrison, 1753, says, I have a box full of first issue Hornby Class 31s, number 31110 in Dutch and 31270 BR Blue. I hope none of my backman 25s have this damn Mazet rot. Unfortunately, 25286, mine does. If you have it, do check it, and be aware that you need to check what locomotive was released as part of the same batch. There will have been a BR green or BR two-tone green version. Get that checked as well. Find out which one was released at the same time and get the body off it. If you get the body off in time, then it's possible to save it and wait. And hopefully, if enough people write into Batman and go, oi, look what's happened, maybe they will do a run of the chassis blocks at the very least that will be made available through their spares site so that people can at least repair their existing models. Camel Philippotopoli 4437 says, what about re-release of Hornby LNER W1 in unrebuilt condition like Hornby did with the turbo motive this year? Yeah, that is perfectly possible. And DJK666, I think you're absolutely right. I think Mazet rot is more widespread than previously thought. It is lurking in the dark. 504 locomotives, because of Simon A.C. Martin's experience with his Thomas the Tank Engine range going all the way up to 2026, based on my experience of 25286 from Bachmann, I need to start taking the bodies off all of these locomotives, because I am actually quite scared that there will be almost certainly more Mazet rot lurking up there or down there in drawers. I just need to find it. So I'm going to probably this year do a big delve into my locomotive fleet and see what turns up. And if I do find any other models with Mazet rot, I'm going to try and put together a video, I think. I think that will be something that I think a lot of people will find quite helpful. We'll see what, if any, other models in my collection have got Mazet rot. PN Train says, I'm predicting a modern image Flying Scotsman with a steam generator. I think that is probably a good shout for Hornby releases. Yeah, Game Hammer Classic Gaming, the Kirk Report. Yes, knock knock. Jenny Kirk, Gronk TV, and shoving a microphone in manufacturers' faces. Flymer Gen 1 says, I think it's just crappy casting, considering not all cast models are made with the zinc content. Yeah. Now, Mazak, I know, is a name, but everybody knows what it is. It's Zinc Mazak. Is just become the common used term. It can be very stable. Hornby 00 has proven this with models from the 1950s still being in absolutely perfect condition now. Like, what's that? 80 years later, and they contain zinc mazic, and there's no problem. So zinc mazic got a bad name because of the mazic rot in the 1940s, and again with some of these new Chinese produced models. But it doesn't have to be like that. Sarah Hall, 6208, great to see you. Hope you're well. It's the final Monday Club of 2025, so there's an amnesty on Gandalf. Can't make the soundboard work. Flymer Chairman 1 says the Keep Calm and Gronk It Up t-shirts are coming through. If you're waiting on, yeah, I've seen loads of people post photographs. Sorry about the delays on that. It's completely out of our hands. They're handled by a third party. They do not pass through Weiryard Towers, and they're all done through a third party. So I'm glad to see that they're coming through. Now, the new Monday Club badges as well. I haven't seen anybody ask, but just in case you have, just to let you know, still haven't had them yet, but they are en route. We will let you know as soon as the new Monday Club badges are going on sale. The way it's going to work, there are still limited stocks at the moment of the ochre ones, the London, Brighton and South Coast Railway improved engine green. There's not many left, like literally I think we're down to single figures now. But if you still want one of those, order with confidence from the website. I think it is set, so it'll only allow sales up to a certain number. You can still buy them now. Once the Royal Purple ones arrive, they will go on the website, and it'll probably then become they're the only ones you can order, and the ochre ones will, whatever's left, it'll be you will have to see us at shows, first come, first serve. The Caledonian Railway light blue, those are going to be specials, and they're not going on sale, at least initially. The idea is that guests on the Monday Club will be given a badge. We still do that now. If somebody doesn't have a badge, if they're a guest in person on the Monday Club, there you go, tickety-boo. That's going to be a special one. But what we'll probably do is they will eventually go on regular sale, because there's like 300 of them, and that would take us over a decade to give those away. Gamerhammer Classic Gaming says, I believe the website will only allow 5 to 10 more sales of the ochre badges at this point. So you heard it here now. Super low stock warning. 5 to 10, somewhere between that number. So, if you want 5, order 5. You should, if you do it right now, get those 5. But going forward, the ochre badges are nearly sold out. No, there's not going to be a New Year's live stream because that is a Wednesday night. We're not doing a live stream. We're actually having a night off. It's not our regular night for a live stream anyway. So, hey, hello to Flat Track. Great to see you. I hope you're well. You asked the question. Right. Any other thoughts on Hornby announcements? I think we're going to get another run of a few things. I'd like to see the Sentinels reappear. Upgraded. This is where I got up to. Upgraded to take HM7000 with the Sentinel diesel profile. And I think that Sentinel diesel profile will work really well in other models. Now, HM7000, I'm gonna put this out there because it is a revelation and made it worked perfectly. The Next 18 decoder natively fits in the Hellion Class 02 diesel shunter. There is also room in that model to put in the speaker, because the onboard speaker is not very good. It doesn't sound great. It's very quiet on the HM7000 decoder. But you can put it in the small enclosure in the cab down on the floor, fits perfectly between the two seats, and there's still room in the cab for the tentacle stay alive. You can do that with a model that, and I've got it over here actually. So this model has a Next 18 HM7000 decoder, stay alive, and the extra speaker. It sounds fantastic. I need a sound profile for it. If they do the Sentinel, boom, it's going on that. But I think that, you know, the four-wheel Sentinel. Let's go and grab one of those. So gratuitous bottom cam. Let's grab for ourselves the Sentinel. There's the four-wheel one. Could they actually make HM7000 fit into this? It is technically slightly smaller than the O2, but the O2 has, I don't know actually, the O2 has the same width of bonnet. The Sentinel has a bigger cab. Now, I reckon you'd need to tool the chassis from the ground up, and that might not be something that's on the cards. But I would love to see another release of these, not least, selfishly, I want another MSC one. They did DH16 that you're seeing there, but the Manchester Ship Canal had, I think it was 16 all the way through to something like 24. So there's options for more of them. But the six-wheel one, I believe that those you can butcher in an 8-pin, a hardwired HM7000 decoder. So we need to see something done with that, I think. Sarah Hall 6208 says, if anyone from Revolution Trains is on, more JNA stroke MMA wagons in 00 gauge, please. Thank you. Yeah, Revolution Trains. I'm not actually reviewed any of their stuff. I maybe 2026 New Year's Revolution. Find something from the Revolution Trains range and review it. 57305 Northern Princess. Great to see you. I hope you are well. Given that we've got 91105 coming, I'm hoping for the Linear Mark IV Swallow set. Oh, the Class 91. I was thinking that was a 9F number. Yeah, the Class 91. Vicky Lawless has agreed. Had a heart attack in July, so good riddance 2025. So sorry to hear. I'm glad that you got through that. But yeah, 2025 has been a rough year for a lot of people. Not least us. You know, we've had bereavements in the family. It really has been a tough year. The Browler Blackwood Engage Lane says, now I could go for a McDonald's or a burger. Stop it, you're making me hungry. Although I did get in some burgers. Actually, I might dump a couple of burgers in the Ninja oven. Now, RG Models 86, of course. Revolution Trains are producing the Vale of Rydell tanks in 009. I think we have a winner there. I think we really do. Camille Philip Topoli 4437 says, also would like to see Caledonian 49 and 903 class produced in 00 gauge. Yeah, there's still lots and lots of really great models that could be done. Richard Knoll says ditto where 2025 is concerned. Yes. Vicky Lawless says physically yes, mentally not really. Yeah, I it's one of those things, you know. Touch wood. Not had those kind of health issues myself, but I'm always mindful. You know, I'm not getting any younger, and it's one of those things. You know, everyone's got to go sometime. I just think I want to live forever. But yeah, it does scare me. Mortality increasingly scares me the older I get. The Growler Blackwood Engage says, yes, please, Jenny, please review the Revolution Trains Class 66s in N-gauge. Now, you've got to remember, I don't have an N-gauge layout, so that tends to be a little bit tricky. We have reviewed N-gauge in the past, and actually some incredibly good N-gauge. My favourite N-gauge model of all time is still the Rapido Trains Class 28 Metrovic Kobo. And so much so that one of you funky, groovy Monday Clubbers very kindly actually sent me one. So I ended up with two of them, but it's up here. some. Oh no, it isn't. The cupboard monkey's got them in their box of bits. The RTC liveried Metrovic Kobo. Can I just say, Rails of Sheffield, if you're listening, an RTC liveried one in 00 would be really nice. Sarah Hull 6208 says, almost 2 years to the day since my heart attack, whereas at one point clinically dead, still here. So glad to hear that you're still here. Yeah, the thought of stuff like that really does scare me. Yeah, maybe Furnace number 1 is another outside opportunity for a ready-to-run model. What year is that from? I know it was rebuilt with the haystack-style firebox by the LMS, I think. But could it be done in post and pre-rebuild? Originals has lost my mum in August and my dog Tommy of 14 years in November. So sorry to hear. Really sorry to hear. Yeah, it's similar for us. Cupboard Monkey sadly lost her mother very suddenly, and I also lost an uncle as well. It's been a rough year. 57305 Northern Princesses. I'm right behind you for a 00 gauge Class 28 in RTC livery. Yeah, Game Hammer Classic Gaming. Yes, your Loco storage box. Furnace number... Leslie Gibbon Rose says, Furnace number 3 is 1846. It is as built, never rebuilt. Number 1 has never been seen in a photo. Yeah, because there were actually more than one of them. Some were tender locos, some were converted to tank engines. I believe, was it 3 or so worked up at Workington in the steelworks for a while, which is actually how number 1 survived. The Growler Blackwood Engage says, I suppose my highlight was being rescued by helicopter off a mountain in Austria. Mind you, don't think my wife would agree, as she had broken her hip. Oh, broken her hip. That's not a good one. Not good. I mean, breaking bones is never good, but that's definitely not a good one. Devon George 85. Bonjour. Hope you're all well and had a good Christmas. Bon Noël. Mais oui. Yes, we did. Thank you so much. I hope you did as well. I hope everybody did. For all you latecomers, it's an amnesty evening. No Gandalf in the loft. So arrive whenever you want. Ham Shackleton, no, you're not on borrowed time. So I'll be 76 soon, and those that know I'm on borrowed time now. So sorry to hear, but live every day to the max is what I say. Enjoy every day, and I know it sounds morbid. I don't mean it to be morbid, but enjoy every day like it's your last. And what I mean by that is, don't squander the days. Do things that you really want to do in life. Don't be afraid, and don't think, oh, I'll do that another time. Enjoy life to the max, and you won't be disappointed. Kingfisher 1487. I think I did see a comment for you. Bought a badge. Thank you so much for your support. Last chance here on the Ochre badges, just to let you guys know. I will say they won't get dispatched until sometime in the first full week of January, because the Cupboard Monkey is away in Durham. Yeah, Richard Knowles, absolutely, because you only ever get one go after it. Absolutely. Leslie Gilpin Rose says, Jenny, the Furnace Sharp Stewart 040s were rebuilt as saddle tanks for Barrow Ironworks. I knew it was somewhere up there. Fistimio Grower 20 is the best known survivor, and there's a kit of parts being rebuilt, I think, as a Barrow Ironworks standard tank. Brilliant. SHGP Media says, I'm going to have to disappear now. Happy New Year all. Happy New Year to you too, and thank you so much. You're a guest on the channel as well. Hopefully we'll get you back on at some point in 2026, maybe even in person. You get the blue badge once they arrive. But yeah, the Royal Purple ones hopefully going on sale soon. Don't bug me. I don't know. When they arrive, they'll arrive. When they do, whatever is left, if any are left of the Ochre badges, will be a case of if you see us at an exhibition, and that's it. There are a number actually with Sawyer Models. Andy Sawyer at Sawyer Models has some. And Buggle Skelly Station has a few, if they've not already sold them. One thing that Buggle Skelly Station has, now this is something to look out for at shows, Buggle Skelly Station still has a few, like we're talking like 2 or 3, of the green Monday Club badges for sale via their stand at shows. So if that's a must-have item, look out for Tom Marshall at Buggle Skelly Station. Raymond Legs 5508 says, I can't believe it's been 89 minutes. Good gosh, we're nearly at 8:30. It's like, goes like that, doesn't it? That's what happens when you don't have a cupboard monkey interrupting you. Although it is sometimes nice to give the voice a rest. I used to do radio, but I got to play records on the radio, so it wasn't all talking. Alec Denham says, good to know, thanks. Award-winning moderator Flymo. Of course, yes. Flymo chairman won the Moderator of the Year award, doubtless because of, in part, the sterling service that he puts in here on this channel. And yeah, Ruben Ashwell, time really does fly by. And RG Models 86 says, I can't believe that 2025 is nearly over. Yeah, it's been an interesting year, shall we say. But, you know, looking back on the rewind... first of all, Peter Jackson Cheadle here says, any new wagon news, Jenny? The 009 one is still for sale. You'll find it at Sawyer Models website. They'll be coming with all the other 009 wagons from Rapido. I don't have a specific date on that. I don't think anybody does yet. Oops, sorry, a bit of a burp. Oh, hello. Yes. Yeah, I'm telling them about the wagons, Andy. I'm telling them. Oh, did you kiss your mother with that mouth? Oh, okay. Apparently you do. But yeah, so they were available to order through Sawyer Models. But be warned, if you order now, it will charge you in full. This is a quirk of the way, because the finances, for tax reasons, we have to keep the money separate because it's all mouse media money. So it will charge you in full now if you order. There's nothing stopping you from ordering now, but we do understand some people, you know, like to maybe wait until close to the time. There's about 10 already sold. The full production run is, I think, either 50 or 60. You can wait until they arrive, but be warned, it is quite a low production run. So there we are. Right, Richard Swiderski says, get off the line, Jenny, a train is coming. Get me the president. No, Gandalf. Gandalf, we talked about this. No, I don't have any biscuits. What do you mean? What do you mean you've eaten all the biscuits in Durham? Well, whose fault is that? No, it's not mine. No, it was a rhetorical question. When I say that, it means it was your... Okay. Right, I'll tell... Look, I'll tell them. I would... Okay. Gandalf says a Monday clubber is never late, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to, or words to that effect. Anywho, Anthony asks, Jenny, are you exhibiting your layout in 2026? Yes, we're booked into a number of different shows. I can't remember which ones off the top of my head. I know Lee Model Exhibition is definitely one of them, but there are some others. We are booked into a few. I will update you when I know. Gamehammer Classic Gaming says, I can guarantee the Gandalf has eaten all the biscuits in Durham. I went to the shops to get some more. The shelves were bare. Darren Caudry, great to see you. Hope you are well. So sorry I'm late visiting family and stopped to charge the car, so I thought we'd pop in. It's great to see you. It's the final Monday Club live stream of the year. And we have an amnesty because the Gandalf is not here. Neither is the Covered Monkey. But do click that like button. Consider sharing to social media. And of course, as always, if you're not already subscribed, it's the best way to keep up to date and not miss a single video or Monday Club. Devon George 85 says, so what is everyone looking forward to next year? For me, it's S160. the county, and the evolution coaches. Yes, to all three of those, actually. The S160, I think, is going to be a very special locomotive. The county is long overdue. Now, if it wasn't for the fact that Rapido were doing that, I would have actually put the county up there as being a possible announcement for Hornby for their 2026 announcements on the, I think it's the 14th. But that promises to be a really good model. The Cali single as well, I'm really looking forward to that. They did a great job. The Sterling singles going round, they did a great job with that, and I think that that bodes really well for the Cali single. I wonder if they're going to have exactly the same drive. Now, the Sterling single, to get a little bit of extra grip, very cunningly drives the rearmost bogie. Well, it's not a bogie, but it's, you know, it's the pony wheels at the back are actually driven, and they've got it perfect, so the wheels don't lose pace with each other. Which is really, really good, and it does improve the performance no end. Andy Fry's Junction says, Jen is a visitor for Donny. Yes, I am. I'll be there with my father, and we will be making out like bandits. When I say we, it'll be me and my father, and we'll be making out like bandits with Hornby 00. But the layout is not going, although, you know, never say never. In previous years, we have been invited last minute, as in, like, we got a message on the Thursday saying we've had a layout drop out. Is there any chance for that weekend? It's like, as it happens, yes. So I brought a layout at like 24 hours notice, you know, 24 hours later, boom, in the work van, aka Scrap Heap Challenge, with a couple of layouts up there, and we filled a gap, and always open to that kind of thing as well. But I don't think I'm on BRM's Christmas card list for reasons. So I, you know, as much as, you know, I put it out there, BRM, always happy to help. But they maybe go, yeah, jog on. Anthony says, Andy, are you doing? I think Andy is, actually. I think Andy is. Right. Yeah, I think a lot of people are looking forward to the evolution coaches. RG Mods 86 is looking forward to them. Some great livery options, and I think that it's, again, it's a bit like the Hatton's Genesis project. This is what the hobby needs to go behind all these pretty pre-grouping locomotives that have been released. So I'm really looking forward to them as well. Highland Railway livery, I think, would be up there, but also Lancashire and Yorkshire and Great Central. They're probably the three. Oh, I'm going to go maybe a fourth one for... which one was it? Great Eastern Railway. So yeah, lots and lots of so many evolution coaches that I really do want. B. Mozza says, I have ordered 2 of the custom Rapido wagons. Thank you so much for your support. And certainly it's definitely a much more crowded market these days with special commission wagons. So there's a lot more to choose from. A lot more YouTubers are doing it now. So really, really thank everybody for supporting the channel with supporting the wagons. Thank you so much. I believe that Sawyer Models also may have a couple, I think maybe just 2, maybe even less than that, of the Minith Tattoo Quarries Rec Tank wagons. They can still be ordered. They are in stock and will dispatch immediately. And a single O-Gauge Monday Club Coal Society wagon as well. There are no videos tonight, I'll just say, just to let people know. Thank you so much. Darren Caudry has just joined the Jenny Kirk membership, and you will now immediately be able to watch Friday's video as a channel member. It's up and it's there for you, so you can see what we've been talking about with the kink that's on the screen. But yeah, because I'm flying solo, there's no videos tonight, unfortunately. Andy Fry's Junction says 3 00 gauge left. So they are 3 Minith Tattoo Quarries wagons left. That's it. Finito when they are gone. Ivo Vans on 164 says those Revolution coaches, so I think Evolution coaches are the same as the ex-KPEV stuff that ended up virtually everywhere in Europe. They are going to keep on giving. Tim Shaw, N4D. What about the TPO and Southern Railway Green, like the Bluebell Railway one? Yeah, that is definitely an option. Screen might be. People are saying the stream froze, but we're still 5x5 on the upload. 3,534 kbps upload, all in the green. It's saying we haven't dropped any frames, and the CPU is only at 34%. That could be a YouTube thing rather than a me thing. So, I'm getting a very dry throat, it must be said. I haven't done talk radio in probably 20 years. So, yeah, 50p needed for the meter. Or as some people would say, who put 50p in the dickhead? Right. Yeah, something did happen. Everybody said it's a YouTube end. I'm showing no dropped frames whatsoever throughout the entire stream. So that is a YouTube thing. So in terms of releases, let's hammer this down. Not wish listing, but in terms of what are we going to see released? Now, I think the generic 4- and 6-wheel coaches, another run of them could be on the cards if they pick the livery options very carefully. Midland Railway and early LMS period, they look superb on the Hatton's Genesis coaches, and I think that there's definitely an opening for the Hornby generic 4- and 6-wheel coaches to actually appear another run with those. In terms of, I'm trying to think which ones hung about and which ones didn't. London and North Western Railway might do another rake of those. London and South Western Railway, I think, is probably all played out for now. Great Central Railway livery. I could see those selling reasonably well. There's plenty of ready-to-run models. Great Eastern Railway livery. Apparently, there's now no sound. It's not muted here. This is YouTube. I'm going to say YouTube is causing the problem. No drop frames. We're still streaming at this end. I can only assume, you know, maybe just down the street they've fired up OnlyFans and there's some kind of cam girl going on. Flymo Chen 1 says 5x5 here, Jenny. Simon Trains Mother Railway sounds fine. Yes, some people are losing sound. Check your end if you're losing sound or video, because it's not my end. Whoa! Oh, matron. Right, Z-Class. This gets asked for every year and doesn't turn up. So, is this the year that we are going to get the Z-Class? I think that would be an outstanding release. I'm not going to expect a lot of new tooling for Hornby for financial reasons. There's a lot of investment involved. So, I would say quirky model. I'm going to say Z-Class. I'd like to see an N2. An N2, I think, is an absolute low-hanging fruit. I would say an N2 more likely than a Z-Class. D49 also up there, as is a J83. So, yeah, J83, D49, Z-Class, and what was that other one I just said? And I've completely forgotten. I said, oh, it's almost a dead cert. N2. I think that we're going to see another run of the Coronation coaches with the beaver tail. There is another rake that they could do. Those sold incredibly well. That is money in the bank for Hornby, and I think they do really need that. Got to remember, though, Market's already got a full run of those out there. Could they be doing the rebuilt observation car and do a rake of coaches like that? I wouldn't put it past Hornby to do that. A new tooled 8F I don't think is going to be on the cards. The current 8F actually only really needs a new front bogie. Yeah, a lot of people saying N2. Just looking up Jennifer Need, OO scale Hornby King. Now, in terms of the current Hornby King is very good. I was actually running one whilst I was filming the track realignment video. Counting Bean says restart YouTube. It worked for them. Boom, perfect. 57305 Northern Princesses. I want a model of the LB and SCR I1 because they gained the nickname Wankers due to sports teaming. I like that. Sorry, that tickled me. Yeah, I think, you know, maybe a castle in the Hornby 00 range. You know, plenty of scope there. Maybe the N2 would be in the Hornby 00 range. Little Britain says still want a Great Central Railway 8B and slight tooling adjustment. Would do a bunch of 460s. Yeah, and there's a lot of the B classes that could be done. Is that the B2 or the B4? E4, E5 and E6 are all outside choices, maybe. I think we're going to see a lot more reliveries of stuff. I'd like to see the Railroad Plus range expand. There's a lot to choose from, and I'm going to put it out there. I think the Class 25, the Class 42, although the Class 42, Hornby might view it as being quite a crowded market, with a new one coming from Hellion, a respectable one coming from Bachmann, and plenty on the second-hand market. A Class 42 might not be as good a choice, and the last Railroad release did hang around. So maybe the Class 52 Western. Now, we haven't had much in the way of those since Hellion and Dapol did theirs, and they do seem to be thin on the ground. So I'm going to say, actually, Class 52 Western as a Railroad Plus model, with the Class 25, possibly a Class 35, maybe the Class 58 as well. Actually, I think the Class 58 would be a good shout. And yeah, Raymond Legs, reliveries are easier for manufacturing. They're releasing a new model almost every year. Yeah, J15 in Great Eastern Railway Grey, says Ben Davis. I think definitely, and actually that's a good idea. Hornby King need 6025 King Henry in BR Ultramarine Blue, with the British Railways on the tender. Yeah, and I'd also like to see another one of the A4s in Ultramarine Purple. Now, they've done Walter K. Wigham, and they did Merlin as a special for Model Fair, so I wouldn't want them to repeat that. I think that would be stupid. But there were two other A4s that got Ultramarine Purple, so one of those, maybe do the King in that livery as well. I think there was an A3 in that livery. Counting Bean suggests a rerun of the GWR 7200 class. Yeah, the 7200 class would certainly be quite nice. I know that the 4200 and the 5200 did seem to stick in the shops a bit, though. Yeah, Leslie Gilpin Railways, the Class 13, there's a bit of a wobble on the rods. That's common to all Bachmann 08s. 57305 Northern Princesses. I could see the Royal Train getting another run because it is being retired. Yes, I think that's a good idea. The N2 being was it the 150th or 160th anniversary of Gresley's birthday. I think that I'm going to put an N2 up there as my top choice for new tooling, with a Hornby 00 version if they do it right, which would then... Will we see the non-prototypical but Hornby 00 prototypical GWR, LMS, LNER and Southern releases of the N2 as well? Actually, no, the N2 one, the L and the R ones were prototypical. The other three weren't. Anthony, Hellions 2 models in TT120, the DMU and Deltic. Looking forward to those. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, Raymond Legg says the old Backman wobble. Yeah, they're like, yeah, oh, we're in 08 and we're quite happy. Oh. Yeah, the Backman twerk for Gen Z, says Raymond Legs. Absolutely. 150th Simon Trains Mother Railway. Thank you. I knew there was 100 and another digit as well. Ivovanson 164 says the continent is getting a bit fed up with the Class 66 and returning them to the UK. Too many compromises in cab design. I think that was a problem with the UK ones as well. They started painting cab roofs white to cut down the heat for the drivers. Flymo Chairman 1 Mainline did the N2 well, but a long time ago. Yeah, the N2 is an open goal. So I'm going to say N2 has got to be the most obvious new tooling. And Ben Davis says, yes, Jennifer, 3A3, some BR experimental purple. 60075 Frusquin, 60071 Tranquil, and 60084 Trigo. Ultramarine purple. Let's see. King, one that they've never done, the A4. Like I said before, Merlin and Walter K. Wiggum have both been done before. Got to be done. Let's have an A3 as well. Why not? Ben Tullett suggests some Mexican HSTs. I think they might be a slow seller. That's the problem with those. Roger Windsor says another Dead Rail commission done while watching. Yeah, yeehaw, money in the bank. Boom. Perfect. Good way to end 2025. Kingfisher suggests Class 35 with interior. I think we'll see the Class 35 turn up in the railroad range, but I would like to think maybe a Class 52 Western, Class 58 Bone, and the Class 25 Rat. Those three would be really, really good to see in the Railroad Plus range. And 2026, yeah, definitely. Here's to 2026 being much better than 2025. My voice is starting to go, so in lieu of having the usual customary your videos, we're going to end with just watching the trains running on Weir Yard. Sorry about this, my voice is starting to croak. I have been talking non-stop. We did start a little bit early, so nearly 2 hours. But there we go. Top picks, N2, maybe a D49, Railroad Plus, we've just covered that. Re-release of the generic 4 and 6 wheel coaches in some of the LMS Midland Railway, Great Central Railway liveries, maybe even Great Eastern Railway livery. Actually, yeah, the Class 142s, Ham Shackleton, I forgot about those. Maybe we'll see the Class 142s return in the railroad range with HM7000 decoders and profiles for all of these. I think that would be a great addition to the HM7000 range. There are a few gaps in the catalogue numbers of unannounced profiles, so it gives you a clue that there is definitely something going on. J83 as well, I'm going to put that out there. Outside chance of an all new retooled Genty, perhaps. Happy New Year to all of you as well. Happy New Year, Claude Hamilton. Happy New Year, David Scott. Leslie Up in Row says Pacers with holes in the floor. Yeah, Fled Flintstone ones. I remember them getting stuck coming north out of Bolton Trinity Street station, trying to get around the tight curve into Bradshaw Gate Tunnel and squealing like anybody. They really didn't like that curve. If anywhere there was a need for flange greasers, it was there. But there's definitely a lot of choice. More Mark IIIs, suggests Richard Gruters. Yes. And I'm going to say, just putting it out there for Hornby, still time to add it into the range. Let's go for the experimental ultramarine livery on an A3, a King, and one of the 2 A4s that you still haven't done. So yeah, yabba dabba do. Anyway, look, you guys take great care of yourself. We're going to move over to just watching some of the trains running here on Where Yard because my voice is giving out. Take care, everybody. Do hit that like button, share the stream to social media, and subscribe if you've not already done so. And you have yourselves a great new year. The Z class as well. I'm gonna say it's outside a possibility of a completely new tooled Z class. So you guys take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now. Oh, my voice. If anybody's wondering, the Hellion Class 02, the sound profile that's actually on it, is just a Class 08. Sound is the closest sound from those available. Trying to get another angle, it's not really working, so we'll have a bit of a flyover of Weir Yard. I'm afraid you're getting a Dutch angle, there's nothing I can do about that, but there you go. There's a little bit of Weir Yard that you don't normally see. Actually, let's see if I can get this all the way round and down. That's actually one of my favourite spots on the new build of Weir Yard. Amber Occupy Railways, there used to be one of the Lima terminal cranes. That's gone, I got rid of that. But yes, it was featured in a build video. A big hello to you, Train Spotter Tamworth. Great to have you along. There is no Gandalf tonight. It's last stream of the year. Gandalf is away. So an amnesty, arrive whenever you need to. Nick Girolamo, great to see you as well. I've probably managed to miss all your comments, I think. Not by design. There will be the railway song coming. So, Happy New Year to you all. We'll be back on Friday with a video, a little project on removing kinks from track. But from me, it's just me on my Todd. I've been flying solo. It's been an absolute honour to have your company. Get the word out there. If you haven't already done so, click the like button and share the stream to social media. Let everybody know that everybody is welcome in your online Monday Club Model Railway Club.
Your worth. Grump the 08 unsung hero. Diesel hard, but love is zero. Jenny sees your true intention. Endless work without a mention. Slow and steady, never flashy. In the yard where tracks are trashy. Jenny knows. Your worth. Gronk it up. You're the one who fills the cup. Pull those wagons back and forth. Gronk it up.